All right, special edition riding home. This is the depth chart edition, what the Georgia Bulldogs are going to look like against Oregon in just a few days to kick off the 2022 season. I'm going to be breaking down my thoughts of who will be starting for the Dogs on offense, defense, and special teams. So let's get right into it. Obviously, let's start with offense. Let's start at quarterback. It's going to be Stetson Bennett, the guy who led Georgia to a national championship last year. Carson Beck, the number 2. Brock Vandegrift, number 3. Gunnar Stockton, number 4. And I think Stetson Bennett is one of the best quarterbacks, not only in the SEC, but one of the best returning quarterbacks in college football. So the Bulldogs are in safe hands there. And I think if you were to pick between Stetson Bennett and Bo Nix, who will be starting for Oregon, I think you take Stetson Bennett. So I do give Georgia the quarterback advantage. At running back, Kenny McIntosh is the number 1 guy. Well-deserved. He's earned it. He's a guy who has experience. He's made a lot of plays over the last few years. He's versatile, can help you out in the backfield. He's Georgia's best running back. And when he's healthy, he should be the guy getting the most carries. If Kendall Milton is healthy, which I think he will be for the Oregon game, that's your number 2. Daijun Edwards, 3. Branson Robinson, number 4. I think you're going to see all 4 of those guys get a carry, at least one carry in the ball game, with Kenny McIntosh, Kendall Milton really carrying the load in the running game. Tight end, best room in the country by a mile. David Pollack told us this offseason, I think it was during SEC Media Days, could be the best tight end room in the history of college football. Brock Bowers is the number 1 guy, obviously one of the best players in the country. But if Eric Gilbert doesn't watch it and he doesn't progress and start making plays early, Oscar Delp is going to play. And Oscar Delp is going to climb that depth chart. And I think we're going to see Oscar play against Oregon and probably see more and more of him as the season moves along. Now, Darnell Washington is also going to play. He is a big weapon, but he knows his role, and that's that he's more of a blocking tight end. He doesn't bring the speed and explosiveness that really the other 3 guys do. So he is going to play. The guy moves people. He opens up running lanes on the edge. He is an excellent blocker who can help in the passing game every so often as well. When he gets the ball, he is tough to bring down. And when he gets going, he can pick up a lot of yards. But I do think we're going to see more of Eric Gilbert. Well, obviously, because he didn't play at all last year. That was kind of a dumb thing to say right there. But I do think Oscar Delp is going to push him for playing time. No one's taken away snaps from Brock Bowers. But again, I think the more tight ends they play, the more successful they're going to be. We're going to see Eric Gilbert, but watch out for Oscar Delp as well. Wide receiver, the 3 guys who are going to start, in my opinion, based on what Ryan has seen in practice. A.D. Mitchell is the clear-cut number 1 receiver. Kyrus Jackson, one of the more underrated guys on the team, one of the more forgotten players on the team, entering his, I guess, he was in the 2018 class, so this will be his 5th year on the team. I think he's going to be the punt returner as well, like he has been. Just going to go ahead and say that. And then Ladd McConkey, another guy with the explosiveness, who can make some plays. He's the number 3. Don Blaylock, Jackson Meeks, Marcus Rosemy, Jack Sainer are the 3 guys behind them. But at receiver, you got 2 young guys, A.D. Mitchell and Ladd McConkey. Still, Ladd's in his 3rd year, so he's not new or fresh or anything like that. But Kyrus Jackson is a guy who I think should see the ball a little bit more. We'll see how that goes. On the offensive line, I think we've got about 4 spots wrapped up already. We know who the 4 starters are going to be. At left tackle, you have Broderick Jones, former 5-star, played really well when given an opportunity to play there last year when they moved Jamari to guard. This is his 3rd year, and more often than not, those 5-stars that you sign, when they're in year 3, they're getting into that, the best football of their career, and they're starting to dominate. And I expect Broderick Jones to have an outstanding year at left tackle and possibly be a guy who's picked in the 1st round in next year's draft, as a 3-and-out former 5-star 1st-round pick. That's what you want. That's what Kirby Smart sells to these recruits when he's in the living room. Hey, you're going to come here, play for 3 years, be a 1st-round pick. I think Broderick Jones has the ability to do that. At center, Cedric Van Pran, arguably the best center in college football. Right guard, if Tate Rowledge is healthy, I think that's his job. He started there against Clemson last year, so if he's healthy, he should be the guy at right guard. He's a really good one. Then you have Warren McClendon, multi-year starter, one of the best right tackles in college football, who I think is going to have a nice career on Sundays. Just consistent guy, just does his job over and over and over again. So it's left guard where there's kind of a question mark, and I think Xavier Truss is my guess to win that job. He's someone who has seen playing time before. I think he started against Cincinnati in that Peach Bowl a couple of years ago. Got some playing time last year as well. He should be playing the best football of his career. He's a massive, massive dude, and he's the guy who should be opening up running lanes on that left side. So I think if the staff is kind of hoping that Xavier Truss is the one who steps up and wins that job. So overall, that's an outstanding offensive group, no doubt about it. Defense, as we've been talking about all offseason, new faces, fresh faces, guys need to step up. Let's start on the defensive line. Jalen Carter, one of the best players in college football. He's there in the middle. Zion Logue, another guy who I think is going to get that starting nod, play next to him, play over the guard, maybe play over the center as well, depending on what he's weighing right now. I'm not really sure, but those two are going to play inside. On the outside, lining up, against the tackle there, between the tackle and guard at times, Michael Williams, the freshman, 6'5", 265. Guys are saying that he is a clone of Trayvon Walker. He's athletic. He knows how to get after the passer. At 12.5 sacks last year as a senior. He was a 5-star for a reason. Kirby Smart's been talking on and on and on about Michael Williams. I think he gets the nod as that third defensive lineman. We'll see how it goes. He's going to play a lot. Give me Michael Williams as the starter. Outside linebacker, Nolan Smith. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of Robert Beal, too, come in. And, when they're trying to get after the passer. But Nolan Smith, a leader on the team, he's going to be a starting outside linebacker. Inside, Jamon Dumas-Johnson, I think is one safe pick. The other inside linebacker, I think, is going to come down to Tresman Marshall or Smile Munden. And I think Tresman Marshall, he's been here a little bit longer. He's a guy who has developed, got better and better as he's stayed healthy. I think he gets the nod, but I think we're going to see Smile Munden as well. He was a 5-star for a reason. This is his second year. He's ready to turn that switch, take his game to the next level. But I think Jamon Dumas-Johnson and Tresman Marshall are going to be your two inside linebackers. And it's going to be tough to replace. I say tough. It's going to be impossible to replace Kobe Dean, Channing Tindall, and Quay Walker, because those guys brought they brought experience to the team last year, and these guys don't bring experience coming into this year. Jamon Dumas-Johnson played a little bit last year, so did Tresman Marshall at times, but I think they're ready. I think Glenn Schumann has those guys ready to go. So that's the starting linebacker crew that I'm hearing more and more about. In the secondary, Keely Ringo is one starter. I think Javon Bullard has won the job, the other starting cornerback position, opposite of Keely Ringo. The safeties, you know about them now, Chris Smith, Dan Jackson. And then at the star position, I think Tyke Smith, if he can stay healthy, that's his job to lose. We're also seeing Javon Bullard there. I meant Kamari Lassiter. Javon Bullard is going to be fighting for the star position. Kamari Lassiter is a guy who I think won the opposite starting cornerback position of Keely Ringo, beating out Nyland Green there. So Kamari Lassiter at corner, Javon Bullard at the star. Going to get some playing time, but I think Tyke Smith is the guy who is still kind of won that job, and it's his job to really lose. So I think at punter, Brett Thorson, the freshman punter they signed out of Australia, is going to be punting and winning that job. Kick return, I think, is still up in the air. I think they could still use Kenny McIntosh, but he's RB1, so you don't want him out there returning kicks. Kyrus Jackson could do it. I think Keely Ringo could do it. Maybe Ladd McConkey gets some reps back there. So we'll see how that plays. But I do think Kyrus Jackson is going to be the punt returner as usual. He's been back there for a while now, knows what he's doing. And I think he'll have a good year there. Jackpot Lesney doing the kicking, as he has the past, couple of years now. So at the end of the day, this is a very strong team on offense. There's a lot to like, especially on the offensive line, at quarterback, and at tight end. If the running backs can stay healthy, they're going to be just fine this year. And you've got a lot of guys at wide receiver who have been around for a while now and have experience. And then defense, like I've said, the entire offseason, it's a lot of young guys who are very talented who are just waiting their turn. They're hungry for an opportunity to show what they can do, and I think they're going to impress a lot of people this year. So talking depth chart, that is what I've come up with after talking with lots of sources around the program, reading Ryan's practice reports. So I think that is a depth chart that should, I don't want to say easily beat Oregon, but I think Georgia's going to cover. I'm going to give my prediction and final feelings video later this week. What do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know in the comment section. We love reading that. So thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I'll see you over on Dog Post.